Rob and Ram. Nobody asked, but we give you our opinions. Acknowledge us like Roman Reigns to all his minions. Coming from the grave like our name was Undertaker. Women's wrestling is cool, but where the hell is Britt Baker? Coherence takes abandon all hope. We talk shit like Ricochet from the top rope. We are marks, sometimes we're friendly. Sometimes we show our whole ass like Mandy. We are discussing what is the latest. Jericho is the GOAT, but Sid is our favorite. We are marks. We are marks.
What's going on, Marks? Welcome back to the podcast. It's the We Are Marks podcast. Why? Because we are Marks. I'm your host. My name is Ram, Rob, and Bob. What's going on, gentlemen? It is Wrestlemania week.
What's going on, America?
I am ready for 2 nights of not caring about half of it. Here we go.
You're going to care about every single thing that happens.
You're right, I am.
All right, gentlemen. So just continuing with the story of my son getting into wrestling. Today he asked me a question. I was actually kind of curious because I couldn't really think of anything other than the muscle buster. He asked me, Dad, what's the most dangerous move? And I said, I'm not really sure. So guys, I want to hear a couple from you. I couldn't think of any off the top of my head that were actually like legitimately dangerous to perform.
I will always go with Shane. Other people do it, but Shane Helms was the first guy I ever see do it. The vertebreaker, where you hook him behind the back and like it's a pile driver with their arms hooked. That looks like it is a one false move away from paralyzing you.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would probably just go with anything that's in Jade Cargill's arsenal. That seems pretty dangerous.
Just showed him Jade giving a big boot to someone. That's funny. Yeah. So I could link him up with the muscle buster, and that's probably only because I know of the what's his name? Tyson Kidd injury.
Yeah.
It being theoretically banned in the WWE until it wasn't. All right. Well, anyway, we got a lot of wrestling to talk about this week because it is WrestleMania week, and we also watch AEW Dynasty. I know that before we started recording, I said Revolution, and I was like, oh, I hope these guys don't think I meant Revolution because it was Dynasty. AEW Dynasty, and it started out with a banger of a tag team match. The Young Bucks defeating Okada and Takeshita.
Yeah, I say it every month when we do an AEW pay-per-view. The Bucks, in my opinion, they're the best tag team I've ever seen. I mean, you put them on pay-per-view, they put out a banger. I know, Ram says we see it, and you're right, we do. We see Young Bucks great matches every month. They're incredible. I liked the finish. I thought Takeshita not helping Okada, hopefully that can put that storyline in another gear. It's been going on for gotta be all 7 years AEW's been in existence. So hopefully we can get somewhere because I do think it's really, really past time to pull the trigger on Takeshita. But yeah, Bucks look great and they won. So FTR seems to need another new team to face. So we'll see.
Yeah, another new team
that they faced last month.
Yeah, no, we're getting to the Bucks versus FTR versus Cage and Christian in a Cope and Christian in a ladder match. That's what's happening at All In, and I wish Adam Copeland the best of luck in not being paralyzed. I give a lot of flack to the Young Bucks for just doing flippity-doo stuff and not making it believable. And it might have been because Okada and Takeshita won't do the flippy-dippy stuff, but I think this was the most believable match I've seen them do. They still did their acrobatic stuff. The one spot where he did the double spot stomp to the back of Okada and rolled through and did a German suplex off the top rope to Takeshita was really cool. Dare I say it, I really enjoyed this match. I give props to the Young Bucks.
No doubt. And hey, I mean, listen, we talk about storytelling with AEW, and in my opinion, their weekly product continues to not deliver. But this pay-per-view in particular, these matches, I would say probably 4 of them at least, maybe 5 even, told really good stories in the ring, like things that you can like really dig into. Now, I'm very curious, of course, with Dynamite being tonight, how they follow up on that. I'm sure like half of the winners won't even be there. So it's, it's kind of the ebb and flow of AEW, where we do get, I mean, this match was incredible. I'll give it to you, Bob. The Young Bucks, this was great. You can't do it better than this, just off the rip in a tag team match. Now I want to go back to something that was said by Rob, this prediction about the triple threat tag team match. I just don't know how we get Cope and Christian into that, because they got fucked up by FTR.
We still got 2 months, right?
Yeah, I mean, I watched that match and I'm like, at no point did Christian and Copeland feel like they had the momentum in that match.
But let's say the Bucks win at Double or Nothing, right? And then we get a match on oh my God, Dynamite. We get a match on Dynamite between the Bucks and Cope and Christian, and FTR interferes in it. And now all of a sudden we have a chance for a triple threat.
I guess.
When it comes to some of the stuff, like I agree with Ram. The matches told a good story. It wasn't always the story that I thought they were going to go with, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but I came away with the same feeling a couple times on the show where it was like, okay, I think I know the destination, but this is an interesting roadblock. How are we going to get there and make this make sense? So, yeah, I mean, I agree with Rob. I think the destination is the triple threat match. I think the ladder match and the ode to all those ones in the past makes sense. But how, you have the 2 teams that the FTR beat clean and you get there, follow it up with the 2 teams that lost are now number 1 contenders. I'm not sure.
Well, who else is there?
Like at least like the Young Bucks and the FTR match felt like it could have gone either way, but I didn't feel that way about this. Christian was pretty much out for the majority of the match, so it was almost a 2-on-1 where Copeland had a small burst where he took the advantage, but for the most part, they just got fucking dominated by FTR. So I don't see how they get into that.
I don't see how they're not. I agree with you, but I don't see how they're not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that probably is the destination, like you said. But it's just, But I personally just think the Young Bucks and FTR by themselves is a better match, so they should just do that.
No, it definitely is, and I've been saying that for months. I don't ever want to see Cope wrestle again, but here we are, and it's happening, whether we want it to or not.
All right. Speaking of guys you didn't want to ever see wrestle again, Ricochet defeats the GOAT, Chris Jericho.
Another one I was a little surprised at the finish. I think it makes sense for non-storyline reasons for Jericho to lose his first match because he is potentially going to deal with an uphill battle of people cheering for him when he is not in his home country of Canada. So that could be a reason to not have it be the old guy shows up and wins. But yeah, it was interesting. I thought it was a perfect matchup for Jericho. Obviously, the finish with him losing, not necessarily to the Lion Salt, but the cherry on top being the Lion Salt. Maybe they do it again at Dynamite or Double or Nothing, and Jericho gets his win back. But it's interesting what they're doing with Jericho. He's doing all these old gimmicks, and he's usually got something up his sleeve. So I don't know.
I think he should do all his old gimmicks and continue to lose matches while doing it. And then we break the walls down and he reveals his whole new character that he'll use until he eventually retires.
Now, one thing I did want to say before Rob is because of the way it went with the demand and everything, it is possible that he brings back Brian Keith and Big Bill. I hopefully not in the learning tree dynamic, but I'm a fan of bringing Big Bill back. Maybe Jericho apologizes to those guys, say we're now a team or something like that. But I could see it turning into a trios feud.
Yeah, I still don't want to see Chris Jericho wrestle. Half that match was terrible. I'm just flat out. I mean, it took him 10 minutes to actually try to wrestle. He's grabbing cameras and stuff like that. It was a bunch of rah rah. I know gimmick wise, it was great, but if you get down to the nitty gritty of an actual wrestling match, I mean, there's not much substance there. Ricochet's better than Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I want to see him
point in time.
I want to see him go up against Toa Leona next.
Yeah, well,
I think
really
it would
wanted
be
to see him against Toba Femi. So
I think it would be better for Jericho if he embraced being a little bit slower than the younger guys than trying to do the stuff to keep up with them.
To his credit, it made sense what he was doing because he can't keep up with Ricochet. So it did make sense with what he was doing. It was nice to see Chris Jericho wrestle, but 5 minutes into it, I'm like, all right, someone throw a punch or something. That's where I was.
To his credit, he looks great, but 55
he does.
is 55.
David Spade looks awesome.
But 55 is 55, and sometimes the muscles don't want to move like they used to.
Well, he should take TRT like some other people.
We'll talk about WrestleMania later.
He should have just gone back to WWE and feuded with Rusev. That's what he should have just did.
Or Danhausen. Can you imagine Chris Jericho versus Danhausen in a match? Oh my God.
That's WrestleMania worthy.
That is.
Okay, Darby Allin defeats Andrade, and he's the #1 contender. Which that's happening tonight, which was a curveball I didn't expect.
You know, I'm not even going to talk about the match. I'm just going to cut it right to the point on this. Darby Allin should not be the World Heavyweight Champion. Darby Allin should not win this match. It's a bad idea. I don't care that it's WrestleMania week. Max should be the champion. You've had 9 people in 6.5 years that have been the AEW World Champion. They've all been top guys. The title has been treated more prestigious than any other world championship in wrestling when it comes to who has won this belt right now since its debut. This is not the time, not the place. Don't denigrate the championship by having a middle of the card guy win to try to have some Mick Foley 1999 reaction during WrestleMania week. I don't care if he loses at Double or Nothing in Long Island. That doesn't take away the fact that he was the champion. Should not happen. It's stupid if he wins. It's a bad idea.
Bob just said something and it blew my mind a little bit. And Chris Jericho might have been the worst AEW champion. Just off the top of my head, Chris Jericho might have been the worst.
Punk's run wasn't so hot, but
oh yeah, CM Punk. But that's saying something right there. You brought up a very good point. Darby Allin, this is during Dynamite, so I have no idea what's going on. Darby Allin should not win this match at all. He shouldn't even be in this match. But we were talking offline, and I said whoever wins the Owen Hart Cup gets the shot at All In. And I still stand by Sting's winning that belt for Darby Allin. They're doing this early enough where he could get in that Owen Hart Cup and win it and still be the headliner at All In.
Well, you didn't mean it exactly the way you say it, but I would be less mad if a 65-year-old Sting won the AEW World Title because Sting was a top guy.
I'm telling you guys, I just have this weird feeling. The match was good. Andrade's great. I hope they make him a TNT title one day. He's got to get away from those yellow shorts, and he's got to stop being so excited at the end of matches.
You could see higher dick in those. You could.
You know, the sad part is the camera angle when they went to shake hands focused on the hands more than the face, and his dick was right there. It's like, I don't know if they didn't notice it or didn't think anyone else would notice it. That's the first thing I noticed when they went in for the handshake. I'm like, dude, that little man's out of tension right now. Like,
That's where your eyes go. What can I say? All right, no comment from me. We had the tag team title match, which we've already talked about a little bit. FTR defeats Christian and Copeland. Cope. I guess we're just calling him Cope. Oh, by the way, we didn't talk about this. Is Jericho going by just Jericho?
Yes.
He trademarked the cornerstone, didn't
His
he?
nameplate just says Jericho now.
Good for him.
He seems to be. I'm not sure if anyone will ever just call him Jericho, but
Maybe WWE filed a trademark for Chris.
You can't use Chris Jericho. That's hilarious. All right. So anyway, yeah, that tag team match. If you have anything further you want to say?
No, I mean, we covered it.
Perfect. The Jet, Kevin Knight, is the new TNT champion.
I thought as far as Casino Gauntlets go, it was one of the better ones that I've seen, if not the best. I thought it was a good match. It got the crowd was into it too. The only thing I'll say, I'm happy that Kevin Knight won because I like Kevin Knight, but I do stand by my point last week when Rob and I predicted it. I'm just not a huge fan of people winning their first title, having their moment in these types of matches where you don't actually beat the champion. I think it would have been a little bit better if someone won and Kevin Knight could have won a one-on-one match to beat them and to win the championship. But at the end of the day, I am happy, and I think that Kevin Knight will be good TNT champion.
Yeah, I agree with Bob. It would have been better to have someone more established and have Kevin Knight beat him. But at the same time, now you can build Kevin Knight up. I mean, we've been talking to him for a while about how we want to see more of Kevin Knight. We said it, 2-3 months ago, back in January, about how we thought Kevin Knight, it was during the Continental Classic, right? When we were talking about my man, Kevin Knight. So he's now the TNT champion. Now it's up to them, instead of just having matches upon matches. It's now he needs to get a feud, because yeah, you can have good matches, but without an actual feud, you can't really get behind it other than, oh, this is a great guy with a belt who's having good matches. Yeah. So let's see what they do next. I was shocked that they put it on Kevin Knight, but like we said last week, everything was wide open, so might as well go for it.
I was happy. I'm happy for Kevin Knight. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. Sure, I do see your point that it probably would have been better moment for him if it was in a actual one-on-one title match, but fuck it. I don't care. It's the TNT champion. I was actually low-key pissed because when I predicted Speedball to win last week, I was juggling in my head between Kevin Knight and Speedball, and I picked Speedball. So I was disappointed.
To your point of that, Speedball did not look happy that he won that title.
Yeah, I mean, that could be the first feud right there.
Again, another pseudo storyline that they could build upon from a match. Holy shit, they're figuring it out.
Hey, and his other former trios champion partner can't challenge for the AEW title, so maybe he can defend it against the old Hangman.
Ooh. There you go.
Ooh. Bob's on fire tonight.
AEW Women's Championship match. Tekla defeats Jamie Hayter.
I thought as far as these matches, same, it's a tough spot that they put the women in, being this part of the card, and especially after seeing that Casino Gauntlet. I do think what they're doing with Tekla is working more than it was, I felt, last month. I do think she's starting to establish herself as a player, but I do think, hopefully Mercedes can come back and have that big feud. But I definitely do think it's moving in the right direction with Tekla. I could see her getting, becoming a more serious player in that women's division.
Yeah. I'm going to interject quick, Rob, if you don't mind, because I'm growing passionate about Tekla. I think she's so goddamn good. I thought the first half of this match was absolutely terrible. I thought it sucked. I thought it was like, I had it on and my wife was in the room and it was a little embarrassing. And Tekla started beating the shit out of Jamie Hayter. She started absolutely beating the shit out of her to the point where I was actually legitimately starting to feel bad for Jamie Hayter. That is how good Tekla is. That she was actually making me, a 34-year-old Mark who understands wrestling. I felt fucking bad for Jamie Hayter at points during this match. That is how good she is, that she is actually making me dislike her. You know what I mean? There's actually a heel that I am like feeling personally like I don't like this woman. She is fantastic. I am disappointed that I had a different take about her 3 months ago because she is incredible. Might be Tony Storm level great.
Yeah, I will give you a pass for the when she first showed up because one, she was on Collision most of the time. Two, she was in trios matches, so she didn't really get to shine as much as she is now. I do think she's one of the better talents they have on the roster right now. To the Mercedes Moné thing, I don't think that works against Thekla. I think Thekla has to lose that belt to a face because you're not bringing Mercedes Moné back as a face. And I don't like how that would turn out. So I think if Mercedes Moné is going to be challenging at All In, Thekla has to lose that belt, which I don't know if I want to or not.
Probably
I
right.
think I'd rather have Alex Windsor beat Thekla than I would have Mercedes Moné just ran into a title scene real quick.
Yeah, you might be right about that. I did want to say something about Rams Point though, about the way you felt about Tekla to now. I was thinking about it, and if you do think when people are getting over, like if we listen to this podcast the first time Tony Storm did the timeless gimmick, maybe we liked it because of the fact it was kind of goofy, but we probably were like, what the hell is going on? I mean, I remember when the screen was turning black and white during the match, and it was like, what in the hell are we watching? So, I mean, it does take some time. And I think you're seeing that with Tekla, where, through the last couple months, it's like, okay, this is kind of cool.
And also, AEW had nothing like her.
Yeah.
She's more character driven than anything. AEW had nothing like her. She's completely different than the rest of the roster.
Totally agree. She's so goddamn good. I am to the point where I'm looking forward to a Tekla match. So that's a good place to be. Maybe we don't need Britt Baker.
Where is she?
Yeah,
Cut that.
John Moxley defeats Will Ospreay. Another fantastic story told in the ring.
Yeah. Rob and I had talked about it, that we weren't really in love with the idea of John Moxley losing the title. I thought it was obviously a great match. You're not going to get a bad match when you got John Moxley and Will Ospreay in it. As far as Will Ospreay, he's another one. I mean, he's sort of in the same boat that we talked about with Cope and Christian and the Young Bucks. It's not really the way I thought this story was going. Doesn't mean it's wrong, but it'll be interesting how they get there if the destination is what we expect at All In. And one thing with Will Ospreay, and this is kind of his Achilles heel that's been over time, he loses a lot of matches. I didn't need to see him as the Continental Champion, but you did book it that way, so he did lose. But we'll see. I guess we'll see what's next for him.
I loved this match. One, Will Ospreay had him dead to rights in the very beginning, but he wanted to hurt him. And his vindictiveness is the reason he did not win that title. I loved everything that happened in this match. I thought it was a great story. I thought the action was good. I thought it was two guys who knew what they were supposed to do, went out there and performed the best that they did. I loved this match. This might have been one of my favorite Will Ospreay matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. I think it's fantastic because of Mox. I think Mox again is absolutely incredible, and like the way that his character, which we said had gotten to the point where he was like the top babyface, and then he like kind of went back to doing the shit he was doing, but he also didn't. And that's kind of what I realized over the past 2 weeks specifically, and in this match as well, where Mox was like, I could kill you, but I'm not going to. And it happened twice now. Once with the chair in the ring on Dynamite, where he was like, literally was in a position where he could have ended Will Ospreay's career, but he's not gonna. He was like, and again in this match, it was the same thing. Like, he could have, if he wanted to, he could have killed Will Ospreay theoretically in the story, if we're to believe his neck is that fucked up, which again, I don't think he's in a match like this if his neck is actually that fucked up. But point being, in the story, he could have ended Will Ospreay's career. And he let Will Ospreay feel that and know that, but he didn't do it. And like in your head, you think, okay, Will Ospreay should probably keep going after. That's what would typically happen in wrestling. Will Ospreay would continue to go after Moxley. But like, what if he doesn't? Like, what if he kind of understands where we're at and he just moves on, which would get him into the Owen Hart Cup. He would just move on from that. And now he's stronger because he understands like that attitude's not going to get him to where he wants to be. So he has to change it, switch it up. And he comes at it with this new attitude. Now he's in the Owen Cup. I don't think it's the right decision at this point because, like Bob said, he loses a lot of matches, and AEW has this thing. And when AEW first started, it was supposed to be about the people who win the most matches. Wins matter. It's supposed that was what AEW was built.
R.I.P. the records.
And now we're in this situation where it feels like you could lose 100 matches, and for some reason you'll get in a number one contender situation, and all you have to do is win that one time. Now you're the number one contender.
You got to win the Owen Hart Cup.
It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, I did want to say one thing too about the neck is I hope they move away from that. I understand it's real life, and that is a real life injury he's had, but I just think over the past 2-3 weeks, I forget when Mox did the chair with him and they beat his ass, and then you watch the match. It's like, I don't want to do another 3 months of can Will Ospreay wrestle. We've seen Will Ospreay can wrestle. We don't need to I get it. It's real life, but you've done too much now. So I just hope I don't need to see that much more about the neck.
But again, I mean, Jon Moxley taught another wrestler a lesson. Maybe he'll take some lessons from it. That was a really bad sentence. You guys know what I mean.
Yeah, what you mean.
Yeah. But yeah,
Jon Moxley, the true learning tree.
And that's the thing. And do you want to know what? That goes to Jon Moxley's character of making AEW better. This is all about just making AEW better.
Maybe he'll do Jericho next.
Maybe he'll take Jericho out.
In the main event, the Devil defeats the God. MJF defeats Kenny Omega. Before you guys chime in, I do want to say that concept on paper, the way it's worded on paper, probably sounded like a good idea. But when it was delivered by Justin Roberts in the middle of the ring, it sounded so goddamn corny, bro. It was corny as hell. But anyway, that's what they went with. And MJF is still your world champion.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. My watching it live, I couldn't really enjoy it because Darby had won, and I was so freaked out about the idea that 72 or 96 hours later, Max was going to lose the title. But I thought they did a good job. I thought from the promo that wasn't perfect. I know there were some HIPAA violations that went on, but the way they sold the guts or whatever was wrong with Kenny, the stomach issue, and then bringing it out with the ring, the way Max pulled the ring out of the referee, I thought there was a lot of things that happened, and it led to the finish. I thought it was good. Kenny a little over the top, trying to do the one-winged angel onto the table, being part of his Achilles heel was a nice touch. It'll be interesting to see where he goes, if this rebirth of Kenny Omega trying to become the champion again, if that's his Owen Hart Cup story. But as far as Max, I mean, look, I've said it to you guys offline. I've probably said it online. I think MJF is the best world champion in wrestling. I think this second reign has been good. I think it has improved the product, and I don't see why he should be losing that title in the next hour if it's to be. I think he's been great.
Darby Allin cannot beat MJF. All right. I'm sorry. I can't wrap my head around that. MJF is the best champion in wrestling. You're right. This match was good. Has Kenny Omega ever been called a god before? I know he's been called the best bout machine. He's been called the Omega. Like, has anybody ever actually called him the wrestling god before?
I know was it JR or somebody that was Kenny by God Omega?
That was Don Callis.
Don Callis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess. The match was good. MJ.
I mean, the story is that the fans called him that.
Yeah, well, Bob and his people.
Well, yeah, the people on the IWC definitely have used that exact verbiage many times.
Like how I've become the resident like Kenny Omega fan club guy.
You are.
You always have been. Always have been.
Fan.
Yeah.
We know you have a replica wig that you put on when you're alone.
You probably subscribe to his OnlyFans too, you weirdo. Yeah, MJF should hold on to this title until Darby Allin and Sting beat him at All In.
Yeah. If I feel like MJF is like the Randy Orton for AEW, like you're just gonna get a B+ match, no matter what, no matter who you're facing. It's never gonna be a C. It's never really gonna be an A+. It's gonna be a B+, and that's how I felt here. The match was good. I'm not gonna give it a great label. I'm gonna say it was good. There's nothing really like special. Like, of course, the finish, pulling the ring out of the ref's ass, of course, was an interesting little wrinkle, but it was the exact. It worked out to be essentially the same finish we've gotten from MJF for 3 years, which is the ring gets him the victory. So I don't know.
All the struggles, the struggles Max had trying to get that ring out, I'd be interested. Well, I wouldn't be interested, but that guy in those Andrade shorts, man.
I think
must be great.
MJF is great. I just want to see the next evolution of MJF.
So, but they've tried so many times to make him evolutioned. Wow.
Evolve?
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Wow. I'm Pokemon. Come on, let's go. But they try to evolve him so many times, and like it's just not the same. Like, I like this MJF. I'm okay with this.
I'm bored. I want to see the next evolution. But anyway,
you want to be face?
You
want to face MJF?
I don't know, man. Ric Flair was styling and profiling for 30 years.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's let him have it.
We're going to skip that other match. Let's talk about WrestleMania. WrestleMania predictions. Biggest show of the year. They built it up so well. So well that they actually had to completely change a couple of stories this week in particular. So, but hey, they tried to do their best or something. They tried something. They did try something. Okay. Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed is going to be the opening match on Saturday night. I Show Speed. No one deserves to be the opening match of WrestleMania more than I Show Speed. They are taking on the Usos and LA Knight.
I mean, who the fuck could care about this match? So Logan Paul and the Vision. Who they're with I Show Speed, and then it's the Usos and LA Knight.
Yep.
I guess the Usos and LA Knight.
You're muted.
You know why this match is happening? Because it's opening WrestleMania. Do you know who's going to be watching it? Everyone on ESPN, because it's on ESPN for the first hour. You know who's might tune in for the rest of WrestleMania? People who like I Show Speed. I don't know. It's not for me. It's
Well,
not supposed to be for me. This is for the non-marks, and I'm taking the Usos and LA Knight.
I would like to just mention really quick for anybody who gets their wrestling news from the We Are Marks podcast, that first hour on Saturday is on ESPN2. ESPN
Oh,
Sunday
well,
is
at least
ESPN. Sunday is
it's
on ESPN.
not on ESPN 8 the Ocho.
I
So
got a feeling this match is never going to be shown on ESPN Classic.
Yeah. I'm taking Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed to win. I believe one of two things is going to happen. Either LA Knight is going to walk out on the Usos, or the Usos are going to walk out on LA Knight. I'm predicting the latter, and I think I Show Speed pins LA Knight.
So I read an article. AI is predicting KSI to show up and beat up I Show Speed in this match.
Okay.
And that's how LA
Well, he's
Knight
got to do the
LA
prime
Knight
model
pins I
gimmick,
Show
doesn't he?
Speed. So
Okay. Fair
Bob,
enough.
who'd you take, by the way?
The
I
good guy.
took the Usos and LA Knight.
Usos. Okay.
We have an unsanctioned match. Why is it unsanctioned?
I thought it was going to be Hell in a Cell, but it is unsanctioned.
Couldn't it just be like anything goes or
Texas Death.
Texas Death, Extreme Rules? Why is it unsanctioned? Normally means one of them's not under contract or the doctor said they couldn't do it. I don't know. Whatever. Unsanctioned match: Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre.
I think Jacob has to win. I don't see why Drew would win this match. I think he's going away, but who knows? So that's part of it. But also, I think it's time to get a little bit more serious with Jacob Fatu, and Drew winning would not be a good thing for him.
On a side note here, I love what they are doing with Solo Sikoa right now. Just being the devil's advocate for the family. I think it's hilarious. With that being said, Jacob Fatu wins. Drew McIntyre goes to Ring of Honor, where he's best known for.
You think Drew McIntyre's leaving?
No, he's not leaving, but
Uh,
I do. I think he goes away for a little, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's gotta be. I would feel like it's gotta be Fatu. Maybe Tama Tonga's going with Jacob Fatu. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe Tama Tonga helps him out or something. I don't know.
Is he the one that's feuding with Nakamura?
Well, yeah. They had matches. But it
He's
appears
the one that
now,
gave back the lantern.
him and Solo Sikoa had a stare down on SmackDown last week.
Yeah, he gave back to lantern to Uncle Howdy, and nobody liked that apparently.
Yeah, I think Tama Tonga's turning face. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Get him in the singles division, which honestly, I think that's a
If
great.
somebody broke that lantern, they'd be a huge babyface to me.
Okay, Women's World Championship. Stephanie Vaquer defends against Liv Morgan.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the story's been built on the idea that Stephanie should win. I don't think she will. I think Liv will win. I mean, they did the whole music video and all the pomp and circumstance around Liv Morgan. And, you know, she is a top star. But like I said, I kind of feel like the way the promos have gone and all this stuff, Stephanie kind of should win to defend her honor. But yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to go with Liv. Just clean win, I guess.
Kudos to WWE for making me care about this match first and foremost, because when they first said this match, we didn't care. So kudos to that. I will take Stephanie Vaquer. I'm taking Stephanie Vaquer. I have no reason why other than I just think.
You're heading into a new season of WWE post WrestleMania, and the best thing to do in the new season is have Liv Morgan be the women's champion on Monday Night Raw. I think Stephanie, what heels is there for Stephanie to continue with after WrestleMania? I think, who are the faces for Liv Morgan. But anyway, I'm taking Liv because Liv should win. That's just the way I feel about it. I don't think they did enough with Stephanie Vaquer before she became the champion to justify making her the champion, and I don't think they've done enough with her as the champion to continue with it. And Liv Morgan is the best character they have on the show, and she should be the champion.
I said clean, but I do think Liv will win, but I think that we'll get some Judgment Day, something will go on there. Roxanne will come back or something, and I think we'll eventually set up one of them challenging Liv.
Yeah. AJ Lee, Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
I mean, personally, I hope AJ wins because I think Becky is another option to challenge, should be in the world title picture. I think the Intercontinental, going back to Becky Lynch again for the Intercontinental title, is beneath her. It was fine for a while. I think Becky will win. I would go with Becky, but I'm really tired of her being the Intercontinental champion. I think it's time to move on from it, but it doesn't seem like it's happening.
This is my lockdown guarantee. Mark it up. Oh, mark it up guarantee. There we go. This is my mark it up guarantee that Becky Lynch walks away with the belt. I don't know how long she holds it because I agree. I do believe she should be in the main event scene, but I do think she beats AJ Lee on Saturday.
I think AJ wins because, like Bob said, she should be in the world title picture. And what I honest to God think is going to happen, I think AJ Lee wins this match, and then she drops it on the very next episode of Monday Night Raw. That's honest to God what I think is going to happen, to maybe an NXT call up or something, or maybe Sol Ruka. I don't know, just somebody to give a boost on the first episode of Raw after WrestleMania. That's what I think.
That's a great idea.
I do like that, but Becky Lynch should do that.
I don't know. You're beating a legend, so I mean you're beating a legend either way, technically.
Plus, right, it's a throwback to when Paige beat AJ. So
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. All right, women's tag team championship match. It's the fatal four-way: Nia and Lash, Charlotte and Alexa, Bayley and Lyra, Nikki and Brie Bella.
Well, it seems like it's touch and go if the Bellas can even be in it because Nikki Bella's injury. So I'm going to cross them out. I don't think they're going to win the match. I guess I'll go with Bayley and Lyra. I don't know if this whole thing's working for other people. I don't really care about Bayley and Lyra. Quite frankly, I don't really care that much about any of the teams in this match. But out of them all, I guess I would rather Charlotte and Alexa win, or somehow Asuka and Kyrie can get involved because they're the best women's tag team they got, but probably not happening. So I'll go with Bayley and Lyra, whatever.
I think I don't know which one's going to, but I think Alexa and Charlotte are finally going to split up so that we can get more people in the main event scene. I think Lyra and Bayley do win at WrestleMania. I was trying to think about this week. Has Bayley ever lost at WrestleMania?
I mean, would have to look that up. Don't know.
I mean, I try to go back in my mind. I don't know
how many times she
lost
not being a dick. How many times did she even wrestle at WrestleMania?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I can only think of the match we were at.
I mean, she kept her title. She won the tag titles with the Mercedes.
Sasha. Yeah.
She might have lost against Charlotte Flair because everyone does. But anyway, I think the Alexa Charlotte thing ends. I think Lyra and Bayley win the tag titles. I don't know about the Bellas, and Nia Jackson, Lash Legend are cool, but not really worthy of them.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Thanks, Alexa.
I'm taking Lash and Nia to retain. She has definitely lost if you consider a battle royal.
Okay. I just popped in my mind probably yesterday. I didn't do any research. Just I know she's won a lot at WrestleMania.
She's chasing the Undertaker streak.
Whatever. Stop looking. We have Seth Rollins taking on Gunther in the next match.
I think you got to have Gunther win. I expect this to be probably one or two best matches on either night. But maybe Rob was right about them getting 9 minutes. But I just don't see, especially with the Heyman aspect and all that stuff. I just kind of feel like Gunther has to win this match. It would be pretty stupid to cut his kneecaps out from under him when you had him retire John Cena and AJ Styles, and he hasn't gotten a world title match yet.
I liked Ram's idea of Braun Breaker coming back, spearing Rollins in half, and letting Gunther take the win, protect them both. I don't like this match. It should be a good match. I don't like this match though. We'll have Gunther win just for what Bob said, and hopefully he retires Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, which is in Minnesota, which would make perfect sense.
Gunther, because he's the best wrestler on the planet. Main event, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton.
I think Pat McAfee wins. No, I'm going to go with Randy. I think this feud has gotten significantly worse as every day goes by. Part of me, which I'm shocked I would say this after the way I felt after the Elimination Chamber, part of me feels that it would be better to just end it and Cody wins. And I wouldn't be that mad if it happens. But I do think Randy wins. And I think best case scenario, he punts Pat McAfee after the match is over. But I suspect it's going to keep going.
Okay. Randy Orton wins, but here's my biggest problem with all of this, besides Pat McAfee. Your most prestigious title, the title that has technically 5 different titles rolled into it, its lineage, is being used to set up a celebrity tag match at Backlash. Because Jelly Roll and Cody Rhodes are going to face McAfee and Orton at one point. That's happening. Like, your main title, the one that you care so much about, is being used to set up a celebrity match at Backlash.
I mean, you can look at it that way, I guess.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Well, I don't think that's the only thing that's happening.
Oh, yeah? Because this feud is now Pat McAfee versus Cody Rhodes. It's got nothing to do with Randy Orton. Randy Orton is Pat McAfee's bitch.
It's TKO. TKO against Cody Rhodes.
So we say. But here's the thing. Pat McAfee said it best on SmackDown. CM Punk can bitch about it all he wants. He's still taking their money. He's still cashing the checks. Like, come on.
Well, yeah, sure. He's employed. I mean,
Right. This is stupid.
I mean, yeah, no, I don't disagree that it is stupid, but I don't look at it as the titles being used to set up a celebrity tag match. Like, maybe that match is going to happen, but that's not what the title's being used for.
What is this feud?
That's what
Ram?
Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll are being used for.
Ram, what is this feud?
Oh,
it's Pat McAfee using Randy Orton to be his patsy so that he could take over WWE.
I don't know. I don't know what the story is. I have no clue. But anyway, Randy Orton should win because if Randy Orton doesn't win, then you've really wasted my time. At least if Randy Orton wins, we have something to. Hopefully we get some kind of epic reveal about what the fuck is actually happening, because I mean the way Pat McAfee has been talking, where he tells Adam Pearce that it's way bigger than he could ever imagine, like he's in some kind of action movie with aliens. Like, I don't know what exactly is happening, but if Randy Orton wins, at least there can be something that's happening. If Cody Rhodes wins, then you really just wasted my time.
Eventually, what's going to happen is Triple H is going to cut a half-hour promo every night. That's what's going to happen. And Dana White's going to be on the Titantron talking about Dana White shit.
Fuck Dana White. All right, so anyway, that's night 1. Night 2. Little pissed that this is going to be happening while it's still bright outside, because Obafemi's entrance should be in the dark. But Obafemi's taking on Brock Lesnar, opening match on ESPN. This one's on ESPN.
Yeah, I just can't come up with one good reason Brock should win this match. And I don't think, I mean, honestly, I can't come up with one. And Brock's not the type of guy, it's not the Undertaker streak that you're ending with Brock Lesnar losing. We've seen Brock Lesnar lose at WrestleMania. We've seen Brock Lesnar lose at other pay-per-views. He's lost to Braun Strowman. He's lost to Drew McIntyre. He's lost to Seth Rollins. He lost to John Cena, Triple H, like all these people throughout his course of being back. I just don't see why there would all of a sudden be this idea Brock Lesnar can't lose. Obafemi right now seems like the future. He seems like a guy that should continue to have the rocket ship behind him. I just don't see why Brock should win, even if it's for building up Gunther and Brock. It's not going to matter in 4 months that Brock Lesnar lost to Obafemi. It's not going to make it any less of a big deal if it's Brock Lesnar's last match.
Yeah, your long-winded thing, Obafemi wins. And if he doesn't, I'm really not watching the rest of WrestleMania.
For record-keeping sake, career at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar is 6-6. So, yeah, he absolutely does lose at WrestleMania. Zero excuse in the world Obafemi loses this match. Zero fucking excuse.
Yeah.
So Oba better win.
Yeah. Yep.
Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, Rey Mysterio in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
I feel the same way I felt about Kevin Knight winning the title in a casino gauntlet. I don't love Javon Evans winning his first championship, even at WrestleMania, in a multi-man ladder match. I think it'd be better if he did beat a champion, a more established champion. But I will pick him to win. Should be exciting match.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So, do you all remember when Matt Cardona / Zack Ryder suddenly won the IC title in a ladder match at WrestleMania and nobody thought he was going to win? We have a bunch of luchadors and Javon Evans, who is a luchador, just non-masked, and we have Rusev. And I am going to take Rusev to win this match, because why not? You can roll your eyes all you want. I don't care. Give me Rusev.
I'm rolling my eyes because I'm picking Rusev. He's the most obvious choice to win this for no reason.
Exactly.
I disagree there.
And in all honesty, maybe a reward for all the jobs he's been doing.
I actually disagree, because the second guy I was going to pick was JD McDonough as the guy, because you could tie in the Judgment Day.
JD it would be like a good thing, like somebody who can carry the IC title for a little while. I think is just going to be Rusev, and then maybe Javon Evans title changes should all happen on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, because maybe Javon Evans beats him on Monday Night Raw. That's how he wins his first IC title.
Joe Hendry. It's happening.
I guess. I don't see that being sustainable. Although I'll be honest, if they let him like do his songs in the middle of the ring, that would get over for sure.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
Elias got over.
in all reality, Danhausen's working, so I'm up for anything right now.
Very true. So yeah, I'm taking Rusev, dark horse for Mysterio, because I think whoever wins this is winning it for absolutely no reason. WWE Women's Championship: Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley. I'm taking Jade.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jade too. I think Jade wins.
There is no good reason why Jade Cargill should still have this title. I'm going to take Rhea Ripley because Jade's title reign needs to end.
I don't know. She's that bitch.
Yeah, well, she's going up against the Eradicator.
Yeah, I think we're doing it to legitimize Jade Cargill.
Legitimize her for what? She's awful.
Being a badass. Regardless of how you feel about her, she has an aura you can't teach.
I think Io screws Rhea.
Yeah, maybe.
And Jade wins.
There's got to be a spot for Io somewhere in this WrestleMania.
Can I just point out, like, why are we not having Asuka versus Io Sky at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I wonder the same thing.
Because Io Sky's turning into Io Shirai and turning heel.
Listen, that's when I fell in love with Io, when she turned heel in NXT.
I'm just saying, man.
Because at first I thought of her a lot like I thought of Kairi Sane, where it's just like, oh, she's a like talented little Asian woman, whatever. But when she turned heel and started showing some character, I was like, holy shit, this chick is badass. And it went from there. And now look at her. She's the best. She's 1A and 1B with Gunther as the best wrestlers on the planet. Shout out to Io Sky for getting in our discussion today, All right. United States Championship, Sami Zayn, Trick Williams. Who do we got?
It's got to be Trick.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. That's why I was kind of like a little lackadaisical on the announcement of the match, because, I mean, if Trick Williams doesn't win this match, what was it all for?
What are we doing?
I will say this, the pseudo heel turn from Sami Zayn, basically telling people who don't like it to go fuck themselves, is pretty fun. But yeah, Trick Williams better win this, and we better get that feud with Carmelo Hayes. Yeah. That should be happening.
I would imagine that would be the first thing that happens. That's what it should be.
Right.
Dominic Mysterio is defending his heart and soul against the Demon Finn Balor.
I don't see why you'd have the Demon lose, and I don't really see why you'd have Dominic Mysterio win. I mean, we've talked glowingly about Dom for the last couple of years, every year saying they should do more with him. They don't really seemingly do it, so I don't know why he would win this match.
I'm taking the Demon Finn Balor for the simple reason of I do think Dominic Mysterio is winning the Money in the Bank, and he could lose every match up until then and just win the Money in the Bank. So he can afford to lose this match. I'm taking Finn Balor as the Demon and maybe build up that Demon again, because I do believe I think the last 3 matches he's lost as the Demon. So let's build that up again. Demon Balor.
100% agree. Dominic Mysterio needs to win the Money in the Bank. It's the only choice. But regardless of my feelings on that situation, ain't no way in hell Dominic Mysterio is beating the Demon. I would be surprised if this match goes more than 5 minutes.
I'm putting it down at 2.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a squash.
Yeah.
Finn's entrance will be longer.
The Demon's entrance will be much longer. Dominic Mysterio's entrance might be longer than the match.
Yeah.
All right, World Heavyweight Championship match, CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This is the main event of WrestleMania 42. 42, right?
Yep. So look, I've been a fan of CM Punk for very long time, probably 20 years now. The man has wanted to main event WrestleMania. He's finally getting to do that. And the man has always wanted to be number one. And he's had a lot of chances to be number one, or at least be in the elite of the WWE. And he's never done it. That's really, to me, the story of this match. It's not the crappy storyline that they put together. If you're a fan of wrestling, and I assume you are if you're listening to this show, is Phil Brooks can finally be in the elite of WWE, finished night 2 of WrestleMania as the conquering babyface, like his hero Steve Austin did in the past, and Bret Hart and everyone else he looked up to. That's the story. Will he do it? The answer is the same as it always is, and the answer will be no. He will not do it. But I think, and I'm predicting, that CM Punk does win the match. I think that on Monday's show, Roman Reigns' video showed the hypocrisy of CM Punk, and we are going to get a call back to WrestleMania 17, and CM Punk is going to turn heel, and he is going to be shaking hands with TKO executive, potentially The Rock. We throw that out a lot, and he is going to win the championship. He's going to be the World Heavyweight Champion, and he is going to flip places with Roman Reigns, and each man over the course of the next 4 months are going to get what they said they wanted in the promo that ended Monday Night Raw. And CM Punk will now play the role as the heel. He will be the guy the company is behind, and Roman Reigns will have to rebuild with the fan support going into the summer and SummerSlam.
I love that. I honestly love that.
Fuck. How do I follow that? So I was gonna say something along the lines of the same thing, because Phil Brooks could definitely play that. I fuck you, Bob. That's what I get for doing the freaking scrolling. So I'm gonna go with my second, because I've been going back and forth on this one. I'm gonna go with what I've been saying this whole time. Roman Reigns does win this title. He keeps it hostage for 4 months, and Obafemi struts down, wins the King of the Ring, and Obafemi beats Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. I'm taking Roman Reigns.
I think Punk should win. I don't think Roman should win. I'm hoping that Punk wins. I think he's the right choice. Whether or not he turns heel doesn't matter to me, to be honest. I think Punk should win regardless of that. I'm going to take Punk to win. I think that Roman is, again, I think especially with Brock Lesnar retiring, just that can be his role. Honest to God, he can be an attraction where he comes back and the next top babyface has this mountain to climb, and Roman Reigns comes back and probably beats him like Brock Lesnar did to many people along the way, and eventually puts one over. I think that's Roman Reigns' role going forward, and that's what it should be. That's what it should stay. I think he's great as the tribal chief, but I'm not a big fan of people who are on the show. If you're not on the show, I'm not behind it. I'm not with it. So CM Punk should win, and I'm taking Punk to win.
So, Bob, I do have a question, and we're running a little long, so we're going to keep it short. But in your scenario, that sounds very good. Do you think the fans would actually boo CM Punk?
I think so. I
Yeah?
think Punk's capable of getting them to boo him. I think there's some real life people that do view CM Punk as a hypocrite. And I think that they could play that. And I think Punk embracing that and being the guy that is about money, and he can play in all the things that Roman said. I think Roman played it out perfectly. And, it's there on a silver platter if they want to go that route.
I am one of those people who think he's a hypocrite, so I'll agree with that.
I mean, he's a hypocrite. I just don't understand what you mean by that, because I mean, the man's a professional wrestler with a job. I don't really know what that even means, to be honest.
Yeah, he's a man who walked out on this job before for what he thought was right, and now he's back doing everything that he said was wrong.
Well,
So
can you live off no paycheck for the rest of your life?
you could do something else.
Like,
We'll see. That is
Well,
how I
hold on,
personally
hold
view it.
on. What can CM Punk do?
He could have, honest to God, CM Punk literally could have sat there and made a podcast for the rest of his life and just bitched about everything. Vince Russo's doing it right now. Cut that. We don't want to give advertisements to Vince Russo.
Anyway, I don't know. I don't see it that way. I see a man with a job doing his job. Don't give a fuck. Punk's the one. He should get that moment. Bob was saying he should get that moment. He should win this match as a babyface.
It's a hard sell for me.
Well, I hope that they take one of those two avenues. I think CM Punk losing clean to Roman Reigns again, that big match that he has always wanted to win. And if he fails clean, that would be unfortunate because to Ram's point, Roman's not going to be on the show and Punk is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. In order for him to turn heel, the whole thing of Roman saying we and this and that just doesn't make sense either then.
Well, if Roman's on the outside looking in, I mean, honestly, if it's The Rock, imagine this scenario. The Rock comes out with a belt that says Sika on it, like he's going to whip CM Punk, and Roman Reigns has a smile on his face, shakes his hand, it turns into a rock bottom, and Punk crawls on top of him. I mean, there's your scenario. Roman didn't know he was on the outside looking in. He thought he was on the inside. Now that involves The Rock. You never know if he's going to be involved, but I'm saying you could do something like that.
You can stop right there because if CM Punk shakes hands with The Rock, he will get booed out of the arena. You're right.
There you go.
You know what?
WrestleMania 17
Bob,
all over again.
Book it. I'm not changing my opinion. I'm not changing my answer. But Bob, I like yours a lot better than mine. Let's do it.
Yeah, I like it too. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna have to see. WrestleMania is this weekend, and it's a big event, and I'm looking forward to it. My little boy's looking forward to it, which is warming my heart. We'll be back next week to talk about it all. We'll break it down, and until then, enjoy your wrestling.